Alright, so my name is Jorge Gallegos. I'm 19 years old. I was born in Chihuahua, Mexico, and at the age of 2, I moved over to Leota, Kansas, a nice little town in western Kansas. And I was raised over there, and right now, I'm a freshman right now, about to enter my second semester here in Hays, Kansas, at Fort Hays State University.
Awesome, awesome. So, what brought you to the U.S. and how are you connected to the U.S. beforehand?
So in Mexico, we lived in a town where, in terms of jobs and opportunities, were minimum. So poverty was kind of a struggle for me, for my family, and just all families around there. So my dad had two sisters over in the U.S. One was in Albuquerque and one was in Leota. And so they called my dad, telling him to come over here because there was a better job opportunity, and just the chances for finances and better opportunities for the family over here was better. So immediately my dad took our family. At the time it was just me and my brother and my mom and dad, and we went over here. And yeah, I was 2 years old. I think I already said that, but I was 2 years old when I came here, and here I am right now.
All right, cool. How did you gain citizenship, and can you describe the experience and journey you took to become a citizen?
Yeah, so before you have to become a citizen, you first have to be a resident. Before you become a resident, you have to first get here. And to get here legally, we had to apply to get a passport over here. And that just takes one day, and you just have to get interviewed, talk with some officials. It takes most of the day off. So I believe, if I remember the story, went early one morning, and we were interviewed with a bunch of questions. Had to fill out a lot of paperwork and explain our reasoning to entering it. And from what my parents tell me and what they believe, it was by God's grace, thankfully, that we were able to get in here on the first try without any problems at all. Uh, it really is just a matter of luck, and, well, not really luck, but all thanks to God that we got here easily without any struggles. But yeah, it took us one day to get across, and so once we got here, we were able to stay at my aunt's house for about a year or so. My dad went and looked for a job, got one, and we were able to stay there as long as we needed. And then we finally were able to buy our own house and then just go from there. And so to become a resident, you could either have a parent apply for you to be a resident, or you could have or vice versa, a kid apply for your parent or a sibling.
Right.
And so before I was even born, my grandpa, my dad's mom, applied for her to be a resident in the United States. And so I believe the process took 14 years old, which was again begun before I was even born. And it's just a long process. I think right now you have to wait 20 years to become a resident, but I think back then it was just 12 years. But we did it in 14 years, and I got it when I was at the age of 10 years old, so it took me my whole life and more. And it's just really just a long process, and there's just different, every so many years we get asked to go over to Wichita or Dodge, and we've been interviewed a couple times, and asked to put in our fingerprints and just explain our reasoning, fill out a lot of paperwork as to why we should be residents, and if we apply or make it. And again, by God's grace, it really is just a lot of luck. I've known families over here who've been here for 35 plus years and still haven't reached residency, and even some haven't been forced back to get deported back to Mexico. So it really is just a blessing just to be here as long as we have without any problems. And so once we were residency, Berto was, I believe, already close to the age of 18. So right when he's 18, he applied to be a citizenship, and that takes just about a year to get naturalized, and just a year to wait to get interviewed and take the test. So that's not really it. So that took, yeah, and then same with me here recently. I was just a citizen just this past fall, actually, where it took me a year to wait and get interviewed and take the test. The test wasn't really that much of a struggle. It wasn't easy, but it wasn't anything extremely hard. And so my dad was the only one who wasn't a citizen yet, or a resident yet. And so, like I said before, one of the daughter or son could apply for their parent to be a citizen. That's what my brother did when he was 18 or 19, I believe, when he was a citizen, and he applied for my dad to be a resident, and that went through nice and easy. About 3 years went by faster since it was just his kid, and here we are right now. Again, thank God, all three, my brother, sister, and I are citizens, and both my parents are residents, and that's been pretty good right now.
All right, awesome. Can you describe your challenges or your biggest challenge within the last 20 years?
I haven't really had any struggles really in terms of being welcomed, or any struggles of being getting welcomed here, or becoming a resident citizen. That was really all through my parents. Thank God my parents really just carried the load for our family, and they did what they could, and they let us be and enjoy our childhood here. In terms of being welcome here, like I said, in the small town, it was a great community. Leota, Kansas is, and I was always welcomed. Met a lot of great people through adults and kids my age, and had a great blessing through sports, and I just enjoyed it. I really just never had a struggle here because I was also just at the age of 2, so I don't remember how Mexico was or the struggles within it. But from what my parents tell me, it was just it was a struggle for them in terms of just trying to find the right job. Like I said, I don't know if I mentioned this before, but my parents had to drop out at an early age, so they didn't even finish high school because back where they were growing up in the town, they were growing up in Mexico, just poverty was extreme there, so they had to, I believe in 6th grade they had to drop out and look for their own job, and again, not being able to finish high school and college limits your options of finding a job you like indoors or anything, so same carried on in the United States, didn't have a college or high school degree, so finding a job they liked wasn't in their favor, but nonetheless, they toughened up, took a lot of sacrifices, and thank God they've been blessed always with a job, and we've always had it, been well in terms of finding a good home, finances always went well, and here we are now too. We're well in terms of our daily needs and abundant in it, and my brother's about to finish college right now. He's about to be the first one too out of our family. And so I'm starting to get along too, my first year of college, and it's been good for our family. In terms of, we haven't really had any disasters or crises in our family, thank God again. But in terms of me, myself, personally, I've never really had to endure the struggle, thanks to my parents.
Can you describe for us what you think the American dream is?
The American dream, I say just the way my parents see it, is just a better opportunity in this world to live. Through freedom, and just the jobs that are over there, and just the great people you get to meet and grow with. It really is a blessing in terms of the United States is just a blessing in this world compared to a lot of countries out there. Just so much freedom and the opportunity to do whatever you want, whether it be just a teacher or a doctor or whatever you want to be. The opportunity's right there, as long as you have to for sure put the work in though, but with hard work and God's grace, all things are possible, especially with the freedom that we have here in this country. So a great country that my parents thankfully went to, a lot of opportunities, and thankfully they've put us through. They've given us, my brother and sister and I, a great opportunity to do what we want and do it to our best of our ability.
Okay, so you've somewhat answered this, but could you also describe what your experience in the U.S. has been?
Like I said, my experience in the U.S. has been just great. It's been fun, the people I've met, not a lot of struggles in my life. In terms of, how should I say this? We've always been wealthy, not in terms of just living out there in a mansion or anything, but I mean we've always had our daily necessities and had an abundance. and I've just enjoyed the community I grew up in, a small town feeling, which I'd like to go back to. Not the exact town, but a town similar like it, where the community is awesome. The chances for sports, because I'm a big sports fan, and just the ability to let my family, as my parents have let my siblings and I grow, let my family have a great chance to go out there and do what we want and have the freedom to do it.
Great. That's a great answer. Could you also describe for us your plans of the future?
Right now, it's not official though, but I'm planning on majoring in health and human performance for K through 12 teaching and coaching. More specifically, being a teacher, to be a physical education teacher and coach alongside that, because again, my passion for sports, I'd love to coach and help other people in this area in life. And also, I thought of majoring in biology for the chance of getting for the higher chance of getting offered a job. So that's what my dual major is, and I'm not exactly sure what's in store for. I could change it because that's not official yet, but I'm in a pretty serious relationship right now, and we've talked about our future together and where we'd like to head back to. Definitely a town like the one I grew up in, not necessarily that one, but a town similar to that. And just really just seeing where God takes us. But I'm not in a rush. I'm not stressing anything. Just taking it day by day. I like though nonetheless where my life's headed to and how bright the future looks like.